Hi, my name is Emily. I am a faithful follower of Christ, and I am addicted to sugar, flour, and binging. And that is my Celebrate Recovery intro. This is the OctOHber video that I have really been looking forward to putting out there. If you'll notice, the title of the video is not Join Me like the SepTIMBER video was. It's Join Us, because there's already 32. I think about 32 of us. We would love for you to join, and I did explain. Some people say, I'm in, count me in, but what does that mean and how do I get in? You're in. If you express an interest in joining, I write your name down on this list. And in my video called My Response to Michelle, she was hesitant to join. And in that video, I explained a couple things. Number one, join. We're traveling together. That's all this is. Your name's on a list. Your name will be, and by the way, if you don't see your name on the list, I may or may not have gotten the notification from YouTube that I got a comment. Let me know if you want your name on this list and it's not on there. Let me know. If your name is on this list and you want it off, let me know. I was telling my husband the other day, I have the best subscribers. And you guys, I have the best unsubscribers. My subscribers come and they go, and I consider this a class that I'm teaching. So I just, in my mind, sort of imagine like in a university, a college, somebody walking down the hall and they open the door and they're like, oh, wrong class, shut the door. I'm not offended. If you want your name on the list, let me know. If you want it off the list, let me know. But we're just traveling together. And, listen to my video called My Response to Michelle, her hesitation about joining this, because I explained to her, you're going to watch me. I put out a 5-minute video every day, and I put it up before 9 p.m. And it's my day. I'm just showing you what it looks like for me to follow both Jesus Christ and Bright Line Eating at the same time, simultaneously. So you'll see my meals. You'll see my bright meals, and it is immeasurable. It's indescribable. The way this is helping me stay on track. So this is mutual. We are helping each other. I tell people, you're not watching what I've done, you're watching what I'm currently doing. And the fact that today is September 29th, tomorrow's September 30th, and we are all still forward focused. And I'm just still thinking about oh my gosh, my stomach just growled. I'm thinking about breakfast. I'm thinking about making my bed. I'm thinking about making this video. And we are just not even skipping a beat. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, several people that asked me if I would do OctOHber, and I'm so glad to have already committed to it. So join us. You're going to watch me do Bright Line Eating. Comment below. I was telling Noreen the other day on her channel where she interviewed me. This is super interactive. It's fun. We are traveling together. But if you want, join and let your goal for OctOHber be to, I always use the example, make your bed every day. Because, there used to be a good Nutrigrain commercial, and it said, when you wake up in the morning, you make one good decision. That leads to other good decisions. Ironically, no offense, Nutrigrain, but at this point, I wouldn't consider eating a Nutrigrain bar a good decision if you're like me and you're addicted to sugar and flour. So the point is, we want to head in the right direction. And things are spiraling into control or out of control. Momentum is being built. And we just want to get over inertia and get momentum built in the right direction. And that takes strategy. It takes support. It takes grace from God for sure. But if you want to join us and just say, you know what, for the month of OctOHber, I'm going to make my bed every day, and then maybe I'll commit to having a bright breakfast. But I'm going to watch how you guys do this, and maybe after the month of OctOHber, I'll be more interested in doing it for myself. Again, I tell people, and Susan Pierce Thompson does as well, Bright Line Eating is not for everyone. It's a solution to a problem, and if you don't have the same problem that I do with your brain, you may not need this solution. So by all means, join, jump in. Now, let me tell you, the meat of this video is going to start at about minute 17 or so. The next 10 minutes, you're gonna see what my morning has looked like and what all I did to get to this point. Not everything, but quite a bit. And that included, well, for the fun of it, I show you some draft horses pulling an enormous amount of pumpkins down the road. I also show you pictures of my wedding where a Mennonite friend of ours let us use his horse and buggy to get myself from this house to my mother-in-law's house where the wedding was. And I also show you me wrestling a calf this morning, again, to prepare for this video. Okay, you don't see the wrestling, but you hear the wrestling, and I cracked up laughing when I was looking through the video clips that I had recorded for this video. I did not know my phone was recording. It was in my back pocket while I literally wrestled a calf. If my husband pulled in the driveway and saw me wrestling a brand newborn calf, like born yesterday, if not the day before, oh, I think he'd crack up. So anyways, it's already been a big morning. If you want to jump straight to the meat of the OctOHber video, feel free. It's probably, like I said, I'm looking at the time here. I think it's going to be right around minute 17. If you want to see me in my backyard with a calf, well, here it is. Good morning, September 28th. All right, this is going to go on the Join Us for OctOHber video. It's also going to go on my 5-minute video that I'll post tonight before 9 o'clock for September 28th. You guys, I'm on my way home. I just dropped the kids off and I just passed something that I want to get a picture of. I often see horses and buggies every day, every single day. I'm where we live, we are surrounded by Mennonites. It's beautiful and I enjoy showing you bits and pieces of the horses and buggies around me. I don't often see this. 4 giant workhorses pulling a really big cart of pumpkins down the highway. I'll show you. I thought he was gonna just drive right in front of me on the highway, but he turned down the road that I was sitting at. So I actually had my window down and asked him if he minded if I took a picture, and he said, no, that's fine. And I think I know him. I think he's the brother of the guy that drove me in a horse and buggy to my wedding. I'll show you that here. That was my dad in those pictures with me. The plan was for him to drive, for my dad to drive this horse and buggy with me in it from this house up to my in-laws' house, which is where the wedding was. That did not happen. This Mennonite friend of ours came over with the horse and buggy and said, here you go, have fun. We hopped in, my dad took the reins, and it was wild, and the horse was wild, and it was really scary, and it was obvious we had no idea what we're doing. These Mennonite guys well, Mennonite men and women driving their horses and buggies all over the place, make it look easy, and it was not with that horse anyways. So the wedding was next door, about a half a mile down the road, still here on the farm, but we had to have the Mennonite guy drive us. So that's what he did. He hopped back in, took the reins, and my dad and I just went for a wild ride from here to my in-laws' house, and this horse flew up the driveway and flew around the house where there were hundreds of people. So this horse was scared, and the whole thing was, I'm glad we got pictures. I'm glad we got pictures because it all happened very quickly. He flew up the driveway around the house, and I hopped out of that thing. It was fun. It was an adventure. Speaking of adventures, let's get going on this OctOHber adventure. I am looking forward to making this video. But first, I have a border collie that's in the house in a little crate. He needs to go outside into his kennel, but there's a brand new calf in that kennel. So I'm gonna get a bottle and try and lure that calf over to another pen so this border collie can get in his pen and he won't whine the whole time I'm recording this video. He does not get locked up often, but we do try to keep him separated from the poodles at least a few hours a day so the poodles can get a break from him. Apparently, we bought a border collie to herd our poodles, and he does, and I think he wears them out. So I'm gonna get going on this. Let's see if I can get a calf moved, a border collie moved, hair, makeup, ready to record a video, do some dishes, and mow the yard. Here we go. Clyde, are you tired of being in there? You wanna go outside and get in your kennel? Huh? You wanna go outside? Okay, I'm gonna go get that calf out of your kennel. You stay right there. I have not seen this calf yet, but apparently he is a whopper. Born yesterday, still has a wet navel, a wet umbilical cord, brand spanking new. And here's the goal, to get him from that dog kennel over into that calf pen. There's another calf in there right now. All right, Jubilee, you gonna help? Walter, we gonna do this? Let's do this. Oh my goodness, they were not kidding. He is a whopper. He's covered in mud. I think this must be the one my husband found stuck in the mud. Hello, how you doing? He already got a bottle. I hope he'll be interested in this and go with me. Come on, can you follow me over to the other pen so that I can put the dog in here? He is literally the biggest newborn calf I've ever seen. All right, let's go for a little walk. Good. Well, this is going better than I expected. Come on, take a big step. Oh my gosh, we're moving. Come on. Come on. He is covered in mud. Come on. Good. All right, come on, Poodles. Oh, you stop that. Don't even scare him. Come here. We're at a standstill. Please come back. Look, you have a friend here. This is gonna go well. You'll like it. You'll like it here. I just carried him the rest of the way and he was putting up a good fight. You are a healthy, brand new calf. And you, look at you, soft and fuzzy and eating solid foods. You're like an 8-month-old baby. You're like a brand new baby. Okay, you two enjoy each other's company. I'm gonna get the border collie in the kennel. He's excited to have a friend. Do you see him hopping and kicking? Are you excited? You don't know what to think, do you? Is that what you think of your new home? Here we go. Happy September 29th. In 2 days, we'll start our OctOHber adventure. It's not our October challenge, and I love challenges. I love them. They're a period of time where you're just laser focused and giving it all you've got for that period of time. And I have recently been pondering the truth that in recovery and with regards to addiction, strong is not what we're aiming for. Surrendered is what we're aiming for. So if you watch my interview with Noreen, I love it. She's got a slide before the interview starts. White knuckles are red flags. So she has a slide that says white knuckles or white knuckles or white flags. I like to say white knuckles or red flags. That's a red flag. If you are trying to be strong, if you're going to dinner parties or weddings and you're, I can do it, that's not sustainable. And we all know what happens, and I've done it so many times. What comes to mind right now is a 4th of July party that I was so good. I was doing some diet. I don't remember, this was probably 10 years ago, and I was sticking to it, behaving like a relatively normal human being in front of other people. And when we left there, before we pulled out of the driveway, I had opened up the angel food cake, strawberries, and whipped cream dessert that I brought. I didn't have a fork, and I ate it with my hands, pulling out of their driveway. That was a white knuckle red flag moment for me. And I've had many. So if you have white knuckles and you're trying to be really, really, really strong, let me encourage you to let go and surrender. This is really a process of surrendering, which is why I'm happy to call this an adventure, not a challenge. So we're just traveling together, we're hiking, and I believe I talk about this in my response to Michelle video, where we can expect on a hike to trip and fall, but Ecclesiastes 4:9, we're better off together so that we can lift each other up. And that's what this is all about. This is positive reinforcement, and this is genuine love and support from many, many women that I have met now that are faith-filled, true women of God that it is my honor to travel with. I love you girls. Okay, speaking of you girls, here's our list. This is going to be in the description below today, and it'll be in this list will be in the description up underneath every single OctOHber video. They'll be out before 9 o'clock and 5 minutes or under. I'm going to give it my all to make that happen. We'll see. So the OctOHber video. SepTIMBER, TIMBER. The great fall of sugar, flour, and binging. OctOHber. OCT, capital OHBER. The BER is not capital. OctOHber. You all have guessed. Lisa had some good guesses. Super cute. She said, is it going to be OctOHbler, like BLE? Or she said, Rocktober. I love it. Lisa, you're just delightful. OctOHber. So, OctOHber. Kind of have to make yourself say it. It feels It's tricky to purposely mispronounce words. OctOHber, 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 OctOHber. There's a little tiny pause. OH, the definition of October. And guys, I have notes written down here. The word O is used to express a range of emotions, including surprise, anger, disappointment, or joy. A whole range of emotions. So you could use the word O like, oh, around here, Cassie and I were talking about this. I walked in one day and found a calf in our only bathtub. We were so squished by the time I climbed in there, and that was a very awkward bubble bath. I'm kidding. I did not get in that tub with that calf, but I'm sure that when I walked in, I went, oh. You get my point. We use the word O to express a range of emotions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So express, to convey words by gestures and conduct. Ingest, to take into the body by swallowing or absorbing. Our theme for the month of October. I just scared my dog. It's okay, Pearl. She's asleep. Here she comes. The theme for the month of October is express, not ingest. Hey, Pearl, it's okay. Express, not ingest. So October is all about getting it out, not stuffing it down, letting it flow. All of it. Like I said, the good, the bad, the happy, and the sad. We don't want it building up, and we don't want it getting covered up. It's not going away. These emotions super strong emotions, reactions or responses to what's going on around us. It's healthy to get them out. Otherwise, they could potentially surface at another time or solidify and cause our hearts to become hardened. Hard hearts are hurt hearts. Have you heard the expression, hurt people hurt people? We can experience hurt without becoming hurt. So let's let it flow. The tears, the love, the joy, the sorrow, and the spirit. I used to receive therapy, and when the tears would finally flow, I knew we were making progress. Therapy is all about the therapist asking the right questions. The therapist doesn't have our answers. The therapist has questions, and the answers flow from us. Here's a caveat: anger. We want to be careful about letting anger flow, keeping in mind that anger is a secondary emotion. So up underneath anger is the primary emotion. Anger's not the original initial emotion. It's secondary. So up underneath the anger might possibly be fear, frustration, hurt, sadness, confusion, or even exhaustion. Something is causing the anger, some initial or original emotion. When I used to teach my special ed students, and when I taught, my focus, these are the kids I was drawn to. I taught a couple years where I was helping kids with learning disabilities. But after a while, God led me, and I realized that I was very passionate to work with the kids with severe behavior disorders, because I knew there was a reason that they were behaving that way. And when I would visit their homes, it was so clear to me, how could we possibly expect them to act like our own kids, right? Like, they should be acting like my kid. Well, they're not getting what your kid's getting. I mean, it was super clear. Their basic needs were not being met. So a lot of what I did with my students, and I loved, and I still love those kids. I tell them, if you see a kid out on their bicycle after 11 p.m., I guarantee you they're one of my students. They're in a lot of ways raising themselves and finding something on the floor to pick up and put on to get to school, and then deal with what they deal with as soon as they walk through that door. But a lot of what I did in my classroom was nurture them. I taught several kids, these are middle school and high school, mostly boys. I taught several of them how to clip their fingernails, and I bought them. Now, having said this, it was not all nurture. It was also every subject. I was expected to teach them all sorts of stuff, but it was an opportunity for me to also teach them how to care for themselves. So my focus was on kids with severe behavior disorders. I used to explain to them, okay, this is about anger. I used to explain to my students who had severe issues with anger that mad is sad's bodyguard. This is making me emotional. Look, I'm getting it out. Here, guys, I'm showing you. I'm going to get it out instead of stuff it down. What if I paused the video and came back with chocolate all over my face? Oops, here's some emotions. Hang on. No, we're going to get this. We're going to get these emotions. We're going to let them flow. It makes me emotional thinking about those kids. And how much I want them to be able to function and appropriately handle difficult circumstances that you and I could likely hardly fathom. Now, since that I taught years ago, and since then, I run into my students at Walmart. I run into them around town, and we're so glad to see each other. And I'm so glad that many of them are already, this was 7 or 8 years ago, between then and now, many of them have spent time in prison, not just jail. They used to tell me when they got into my class, they used to tell me the things that the teachers in the other school had said and done to them. They wanted to blame everyone around them. And I would tell them, the only way you will make progress is the only person we need to control is ourselves. And the only change that we can truly make is changing our own behavior. So, and I would tell them, and I knew a lot of those teachers, and I've been a teacher in a regular ed classroom. I know how challenging it. Actually, I've never taught regular ed, but I get it. I get how difficult, how one student can disrupt the entire, especially, I get it. I also knew some of these people personally and knew that half of what they were telling me is probably true. But what I wanted to teach them was to take responsibility and be empowered to make changes in their own behavior and in the way they respond to different people, so that they're not at the mercy of others, so that they're not like a marionette puppet where others are controlling them and their emotions. I wanted to help them. And so it makes me emotional thinking back to teaching this to my kids. I would draw this on the board, depending on the kids, that mad is sad's bodyguard. And for the record, I've said this before at different places I've spoke, it's not my goal to be in perfect control of my emotions. It is my goal to allow the Holy Spirit to be in perfect control of me. So I am more than okay with emotions bubbling up and flowing out. That's what needs to happen. It's got to flow in order for us to function. So to make true progress, we've got to get to the root of the issue. What's up underneath the anger? To deal with anger, we've got to get we've got to get to the sadness, to the frustration, to the hurt that's underneath the root emotion, that's up under the anger. And we want to trust. We want to trust, not that we'll never get hurt again, but we want to trust that by the grace of God, we'll be able to handle it when we do. We want to be confident not in ourselves, but in Him, in His presence and His unfailing love. He is always with us. Psalm 139:7. Where can I go to get away from your spirit? Nowhere. He's with us on the mountaintops. He's with us in the desert. He's with us, period. Emmanuel. He is always with us. So express, not ingest. That's the theme. We're going to express, not ingest. And I will show you how I do that by the grace of God. By the grace of God. Now, if I do ingest, if I binge, it'll be on here, which is what's really helping me not, because I've had one, I don't like the feeling of being dishonest. It's not worth it to me. Someone gave me at the produce auction one day, she gave me $1 too much, and I brought it to her and I said, this $1 here's your $1. I said, this is not worth me losing sleep over at night. So I aim to have integrity, and I aim to be transparent, and I believe that's what you'll see in my videos. So we're going to express, not ingest. We're going to express. I should go this way. We're going to express, not ingest, throughout the month of October. We're going to let it flow. We're going to reach out, and we're going to get it out. And I have videos about the difference between shame and guilt. Shame is from Satan. Guilt is from God. God can use guilt to lead us back to Him. Amen, right? And that's a beautiful thing. We can count on messing up. We're human. I tell people, don't get good at being perfect, get good at apologizing. But shame sends us right there into the corner with our tails tucked. It isolates us. And then we do a lot of self-sabotaging and self-destruction. And it's a cycle too, if we're honest. We're like, I feel so bad, I should binge. I feel so bad, I should binge. I feel so bad, there's no way I could help my kids with their homework because I just feel so bad. Our kids don't need us feeling bad. They need us to get over ourselves, move on. When I say get good at apologizing, we can apologize to God, which means repent. The difference between saying sorry and repenting is saying, I'm sorry and I won't do it again. Now we need Him to help us serve Him for sure. We want to be good at both apologizing and forgiving, and especially forgiving ourselves, so that we can move forward and continue to serve those around us. Be available emotionally to those around us. I tell people, our kids don't need us feeling guilty. They need us happy and energetic and ready and willing to help them. They need so much help. So reach out. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but feel free to reach out here in these comments or reach out to your spouse, or reach out to a friend, or reach out to a journal. Get it out. Reach out. Don't turn inward. I say ministry is the antidote to misery, and we are miserable when we're focused on ourselves. I've told people before, if you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, quit looking in the mirror and go do something nice for someone. Ministry means to meet needs. Fuel up and then use that energy to both take care of yourself and all of your own responsibilities, but also to go meet a need. And I highly recommend allowing that to be spirit-led, because there are things that you can do. There are people that you can reach, that God is wanting to be reached, and you can reach them and do things that only you can with your sphere of influence, your proximity, your giftings, and the connections that you have. So He has work for each of us to do that only each of us can do. So by all means, let's set our egos aside and let's get out of the vicious cycle of feeling bad and then ingesting what we're addicted to feel better and staying right in that loop. We've got to reach out, break cycles, disrupt patterns. So we want to function. A function, one definition of function is in, out, in, out. Mom, Bugs Bunny. We kept saying Roger Rabbit. When I was a kid, I read a book about Bugs Bunny, and he had a function machine, and he would put a carrot in the top, and then it would come out at the bottom like a purple cube, still with the green carrot, grass, leaf, stem thing on it. Then he'd put another carrot in, and it would come out like a long, skinny blue carrot, was still with the green grass on the end. Function is in, out, in, out. So much is coming in, so much data, so much stimuli. We've got to process it and function. If we want to function, it's got to come out. And this is what I really want to make clear, that this is not all negative. There are clearly times we use what we're addicted to help us manage good emotions. Okay, so for the rest of this video, I am going to, no more tripod for me, because we're going to be in the Word here. And I want you all to see it, not just hear it. God tells us, Jesus tells us, they are one and the same, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I compare it to ice, water, and water vapor. All the same. God tells us in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. If you feel like you have been carrying the weight of the world, you have been carrying a weight that was never meant for you to carry. So OctOHber is going to be all about getting it out. Both. Hear me when I say this. Let's see if I can maybe prop my arm up here. Both the grief and the gratitude. This isn't going to be just about expressing sadness or anger. It's going to be about expressing immense gratitude for what we take the time to look around and realize we have. Isn't it a beautiful moment when instead of having what you want, you realize you want what you have. You want to be where you are. A definition of misery is not wanting to be where you are, but we are right where we're supposed to be. And I sincerely believe that God will not allow us to progress further until we make peace with where we are and accept the fact that where we are is where we're supposed to be. And there's lessons right here, right now for us to learn. I've said it on videos before. I wanted my weight off 20 years ago. Had I lost all the weight 20 years ago, I would not be right here making this video right now. It's all His provision. It can be His vision. So let's let Jesus heal. Heal our hearts, heal our addicted brains, heal our emotions, heal our neural pathways. We will express, not ingest, and this means all of it. All our emotions, even good emotions, can be uncomfortable, causing us to use food to calm down. I had a therapist once tell me that a crisis is anytime life is different after than it was before. So having a baby is a crisis. When I had my first baby, I was so excited about him, and I was laying on the couch and I was watching him, and I knew he needed me he needed me every 10 minutes. At that point, I got better at managing these babies. My fifth child, she'll tell you, she's very, very patient, because I'd be like, oh, hang on just a second. And then I'd be back longer than a second taking care of the other ones. I was so excited about the first one, and I would watch him sleep. But I also remember thinking, uh-oh, am I ever going to sleep again? I'm so excited about him. And I asked my mom, I was like, please tell me that, it's a good thing for some of the excitement, some of the newness to wear off. But anytime we've experienced these, I call it overstimulating. There's times where I've been so overstimulated after different experiences. When I spoke at my aunt's funeral, and the people's response was more than I expected it to be, and there was a line of people waiting to talk to me afterwards. I'm just telling you this to paint the picture, that when I left there, I went and binged. This was 3 years ago. I went and binged. I remember what I got, and I took it to my dad's hospital room. He was recovering from a stroke that ultimately is what took his life. But I used food to bring me back down after a really, really overwhelmingly positive experience. So we're going to express, not ingest, all of it. Feeling excited, feeling embarrassed, nervous, anxious, happy, pensive, disappointed, heartbroken, thrilled, shocked, surprised, overstimulated. Get it out. Let's celebrate with our voices. Let's comfort by crying out. And let's do it together. Like I said, either here or in a journal. When I first started Bright Line Eating, I can pull up my first journal ever, and I can see where I'm not much of a journaler, but I was journaling, and I was on each day, it would say October 24th. And on the back of that, I would just write down what the experience was like. And I wrote down what it was like not turning to food, not turning to sugar and flour to manage all those emotions. That was very, very helpful. So if you don't want to reach out here, perfectly fine. But getting it out again to a friend or a family member, just sharing your excitement, your joy, your disappointment, your frustration, your fear. So we want to stay awake and aware. 1 Peter 5, 7 through 9. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. Be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that your brothers throughout the world are undergoing the same kind of sufferings. I just love that. We are all over the world here. There's some of you from England, Australia, and the United States here. But we know that what we're dealing with is not something unique to us. 1 Corinthians 10:13 is misunderstood. A lot of people use 1 Corinthians 10:13 to say that God won't give us more than we can handle. That's not true. God gives us way more than we can handle. And I looked that up one day. I was like, is that in the Bible? Is that scripture? That God won't give us more than we can handle? Nope, it's a misinterpretation of 1 Corinthians 10:13, which says, no temptation has seized you except what is common to man. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can stand up under it. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. That's very different than saying he's not going to give us more than we can handle. He's saying that when you're tempted by the tempter, we don't get tempted by donuts or pizza or ices or ice cream. They are inanimate objects. They don't do anything. There's no verb that applies to those. The tempter tempts, and when we are tempted, he will provide a way out. And many of us are using the tally system to get out of there. If you watch my videos I'll link them below. One says, this is how I stop myself from binging. In my 20-day detox, I go into a little bit more detail. There are some little nuances to tally systems, like make sure it's a 1-to-1. I go into this on these details on the video, but also never take away a tally. Ever, ever, ever. The tally, you did it. You earned it, you did it. Don't ever take away a reward. Otherwise, I learned this in school. If you give a kid a reward for doing something and then you take it away from them to punish them, well, then they won't be motivated to do it again because they'll say, you're just going to take away my reward. Why would I work hard to earn that reward when I'll probably just lose it later when I inevitably and invariably mess up? So when you notice you're feeling an emotion strong enough that you're wanting to eat to manage it, reach out and feel free, like I said, to reach out here in the comment section below under each OctOHber video. And can we just do like some capital ENI, and we can let each other know that that's what we're doing. And then we can give each other clap emojis and heart emojis, and we can then express emotion towards your emotion. I'm spelling my own name, EMILY. ENI, express, not ingest. ENI, express, not ingest. If you put that, we'll know that that's what you're doing, that you're expressing, not ingesting, and we will be so happy for you and proud of you. And again, if you're experiencing anger, what a big deal to stop, be in the moment, do a little digging, and figure out what is up underneath that anger. Fear, frustration, hurt, loneliness, confusion. The list goes on. All of those things can manifest into anger. So figure out what it is and then express it. Here we have a place to place these feelings. And I just know that we will be met with gentleness, kindness, love, and support. We are here to lift each other and cheer each other on. Again, Ecclesiastes 4:9. So I have a special request. I am going to put this list of all of us OctOHbers up underneath these videos. If you are gifted at praying, if you are a gifted prayer, or if you're just willing, and by the way, when I say gifted prayer, I don't mean that like you say the most amazing, eloquent, beautiful, formal prayers. Think about when a child comes home. My kids do it every single day and say, Mama, look, and I see their papers. They are my children. We are his children. If you have accepted Christ, you are his child. You are not his child until you decide to be. He wants you to be, but he's not going to force that upon you. Children of God, I believe it's John 12:12. Okay, I was wrong. It's John 1:12. Here it is here. Yet, to all who received him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. So if you have received him and believe in his name, you are a child of God. And if you think parent-child, our prayers to him are us talking to him. he no more expects that to be perfect or sound perfect than I expect my kindergartner to bring me home beautiful cursive handwriting. I look at her handwriting, I look what she wrote, and I love it. And when she writes stuff to me, I love it. Clara made a sign the other day because she wanted us to have a party. So she made a big sign that said P-R-T-E. Party. Perfect. I get it. She communicated that quite well. So here's my special request. And we all have different giftings, different spiritual giftings. We're the body of Christ and we have different spiritual giftings to use. All of us have so much to offer, so much to bring to the table to the body of Christ. If you are a prayer, if you're a prayer warrior, I'm asking you, will you please read this list of names, maybe even take the list and write it in a journal of your own and pray over each one of these people, because prayer is powerful. God is powerful and he hears our prayers. Thank you. And Aleena, this is kind of funny. I'm gonna voluntold you. I heard someone say once, I didn't get volunteered, I got voluntold. Aleena, girl, you know I am in awe of the gift you've been given of being a prayer warrior. Your prayers are so beautiful and they are so answered and so heard. But I'd love for all of us to be praying for everyone on these lists or on this list. But Aleena, I'm asking you in particular, will you please pray for this group of women? And I'm so glad you are part of it. And if you want, down below, just raise your hand, do that little emoji with a hand raised and say, I'll do it. I'll be a prayer warrior. That would make my day. So let me show you our list of OctOHbers thus far. And then let's go check out the October poster. OctOHbers, OctOHbers. Jill, Lisa, Emily, me, Sophia, Susan, Miller, Amy, Jackie, Cassie, Susan, Stacey, Terry, Darlene, Katie, Debra, who is actually on YouTube looks like Maggie, Debra, Michelle, Holden, Michelle H, Jane, that's my mom, Robin, Valerie, Kelly, Bonnie, Marilyn, Aleena, Sticea, please forgive me for mispronouncing that, Sonya, Susan Young, Gwendolyn, Jean, Brooke, Carol, Vicky, and Sunshine. Sunshine, we're so glad to have you on this journey with us. We could all use some sunshine. So if you'll notice, that's 3 Susans on there. I might have to start including last names, or at least last initials. Without further ado, let's go check out the October poster, which is going to be a printable. I'm going to add a link below. If you have trouble with this link, I hope it works. I've had a lot of trouble. This has been a learning curve. Look, there's all my babies. I've had a lot of trouble figuring out how to make it a printable. I've had printable links that expired within 24 hours. I've had printable links that when you click on it, loads of advertisements that are nothing I want any of us to see pop up. I've also had links where you would then have to sign in to something over and over. I think this one's going to work. If not, if all else fails, I will email this to you so that you can print it out and check it off with us. And you will see me check off mine each night in the October video. And it will be colored. I left it black and white right now so that we can all color it. All right, let's go check it out. By the way, love to you from the United States. Love to you all from Western Kentucky. I made this poster and you're gonna see pumpkins on it because October makes me think of pumpkins, but it probably doesn't make my Kiwis think of pumpkins. So love to you from the United States and love to you from us over here that are in pumpkin season on this side of the globe. So Super SepTIMBER has been just that. It has truly been supernatural actually. I've been amazed the way God has done every bit of this. The great fall of sugar, flour, and binging. So here it is, Super SepTIMBER and awesome OctOHber. Express, not ingest. Here's 5 different Psalms, and I'm going to read those here in just a second. Each one of these touches on expressing emotion. Speaking of emotions, check out these little pumpkins. That pumpkin has something going on up underneath all that anger. What is it? Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's read these Psalms. And throughout this month, if I'm having a tough time, I might just open up my Bible, read one of these, maybe even write it in my journal, write it on an index card, keep it in my pocket. I am going to... All right, let's read these Psalms. And throughout the month of October, if I'm having a really difficult time, I might even open the Bible and read one of these, or write it in my journal, or write it on an index card and keep it in my pocket. But I'm going to keep these with me. Psalm 9:1. I will praise you, O Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of your wonders. Psalm 34:17 and 18. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 95:1-2. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. Extol means to praise enthusiastically. Psalm, the entire chapter, Psalm 100. Shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is good. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. There's a church in a town nearby, and you know how churches have signs out front and they change them periodically? This church has had this verse on it for years now. The Lord is good, and his love endures forever. And finally, Psalm 120:1. I call on the Lord in my distress, and he answers me. I am so glad that you are traveling with me. I'm so glad I get the honor to travel with you, and I am so looking forward to us traveling together. So here I go. I'm going to travel my way on into breakfast. Might even get those dishes done. There's some trash. Happy September 29th. I will see you tonight, and by the grace of God, God willing, I will see you tomorrow, and I will see you all the way through October. P.S. The piano song that you hear in the background of this video was one of my dad's favorite songs. And when I went to choose this song in the app that I use to edit these videos, I noticed that the name of the song is called Piano Emotions. Seems pretty appropriate, doesn't it? Especially since my dad was one of the most emotional people I know. It was absolutely one of his strengths. Jesus tells us, my grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. When we are weak, then we are strong. 2 Corinthians 12:9. This video is officially dedicated to my dad and my Father in heaven, both of them together.